like blisters.
Right, that was Muse, and that was from their 2012, last year's album, The Second Law, and that was Explorers. Right.
New sub-feature, that is.
Yeah,
Colin's prediction.
When I was coming here today, I had lots of problems with all kinds of traffic, but the one thing that really gets me is cyclists. Yeah, because, you know, I don't get me wrong, I like to ride my bike, and, you know, any reason to wear Lycra is fine, but,
you know, wear Lycra?
You know, if I get half a chance, but, you know, it does get annoying, because the thing is, the bikes, sometimes they take up too much of the road, you know, they don't go in single file, and there's not always chances to overtake them, and sometimes you've got some lard guy that's riding at about 2 miles an hour with a queue of traffic behind him. And in an ideal world, actually, you'd have bike lanes everywhere, but we don't have bike lanes everywhere. And I was just wondering, you know, what do people think of them? Because when I ride my bike, I try and stay on the pavement as much as I can. Or if I was going to go on a nice bike ride, I would go somewhere scenic, like on a field near the river or something, or down a pathway like that.
Yeah.
You know, instead of riding on roads, busy roads, where you've got loads of cars stuck behind you. And I was just wondering if it's just me, or, you know, do these people really annoy you? And what could they do about it? You know, could they, you know, should they set up bike lanes everywhere, or...
I think they should, actually.
Yeah? I mean, it would be very expensive, but...
They've even messed up in that respect, because they tried to put... If you look at it, bike lanes are nothing but a hazard. They're a hazard on the road because they've put bike lanes on the bus lanes. Now, I don't know about you, but I wouldn't like to be cycling in the road and have one massive bus on my tail, because he can't overtake you because he's in his own lane, and you can't go into the next lane because you'll get run over by a Porsche or something.
Yeah.
And you can't use the path because you'll always get somebody shouting abuse at you, saying, you should be in the road, mate. Or, you know, some old woman have a go at you, and or you know, a policeman say to you, you should be in the road.
Yeah, because
don't let it happen again.
I mean, I feel sorry for the cyclists in one respect, because, you know, they can't win. You know, they're on the pavement, they get moaned at. They're on the road. Because it happened to me, I was riding home one day, and I had shopping on both angles of my carrier.
Yeah, I used to do that.
And I was going slow, and I was going at about 1 mile an hour.
Yeah.
And this guy and his dog walked across in front of me, and he started swearing at me. Just went swearing at me, telling me I should effing get off the path, I shouldn't be on the path, I should be on the road, you know. And he was really getting angry with me. And the next day I was riding down the road, because it was clear, and this woman pulled out in front of me. Yeah, even though it was my right of way, because she come out on the junction, and she went down the window, stopped, and had a go at me for riding in the road. So that was like, in the space of a week, I had a man having a go at me for riding on the pavement, and a woman moaning at me for riding in the road. So I thought, you can't win here.
Don't live in London.
You can't win, Luke. But there are alternatives.
And I've seen people get pulled over. I've seen people get stopped on the pavement by police.
Yeah.
But then I watched a program about cyclists riding on the road, and they're going up inside cars and lorries who are turning. And, you know, if they're turning left and you're going up the side of them on the left, and a woman got killed,
Yeah, I think I watched that same program. It was on a few months ago.
And, you know, I mean, to be honest, if you're riding on the pavement and you knock someone, worst you're going to do is, you know, you might bruise them or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you're riding on the road and a car hits you, or a car swerves to avoid you and hits another car, people die.
Yeah.
So,
well, I think when drivers get upset with cyclists, I think the attitude would change if cyclists actually went around like motorbikes. You know, they got a number plate on the... Because cyclists don't pay road tax, do they?
No.
So I think drivers would have a different attitude to cyclists if they had, you know, a number plate. But then again, it's a lot easier to steal a push bike than a motorbike.
Yeah, but I don't think they would. change your... I mean, it's just the annoyance of it. You know, I think even with motorbikes, when they come up the side of you and you can't see them and they're going well over the speed limit,
Yeah,
and
they're
they're
just
weaving in and
vulnerable.
out of cars, and
What about electric scooters?
yeah, them too. At least they can't go overtake you because they don't have the power. But yeah, I just think that I want to start a campaign to allow bikes to ride on the pavement.
Yeah. And
Because
there should be bike lanes on the pavement.
yeah, I mean, if there should be a case of if there's a bike lane on the road, yeah, then you have to be on the road.
Yeah.
If there's not, then you've got a justifiable
Depending
case
on the
to
location.
say, yeah, but you've got a justifiable case to say, look, I'm not going on the road; it's too dangerous. You know, it's annoyance for cars and it's too dangerous for me. So,
Yeah.
fair enough, go on the pavement. It's fair.
Personally, I think the roads were just rushed into really without what do you call it?
Foresight.
Looking out for everyone's best interest, because if you look at it right, from if you drove something, for example, one of the emergency services, right? How hazardous is it, especially if you're an ambulance driver, right, to go through packed traffic when you're on your way to save someone's life?
Yeah.
Now, I think that the roads should be reorganised in. You got a lane for the paramedics, fire engines, and police cars,
Yeah.
right? Only used by them. You got a bus lane. I know this depends on location as well, but there's a lot of reorganisation going on here in the back. Then you got a commercial lane and possibly a second commercial lane as well for ordinary vehicles, including truck drivers.
Yeah, I think it's good in theory. The thing is, with space, it'll cost a lot of money to change it now. I mean, maybe they should have thought about it when they first made the roads,
Yeah.
but I mean, they will never do that now. I mean, in certain areas, possibly
In
they
certain
might,
areas, it
when
is
they're
possible to do
developing
it. But
areas.
however, if they're sort of building on it, because I heard in the news this month that they want to build more houses and more offices and that on unused land or land which is just not-
wasteland.
yeah. And I thought to myself, well, they could start by every built up area has a road leading to it.
Yeah.
You've got to get here out somehow. So reorganise the lanes properly.
Yeah, to start with.
If
when they
you've
first
got an
came.
emergency services lane, a lot more lives would be saved,
Hmm.
right? If you've got a bus lane, that's naturally just for buses. If you've got commercial lanes, they are just for commercial vehicles, privately owned vehicles and taxi drivers and all that sort of stuff.
Oh no, don't give them rights.
I mean, taxi drivers use the bloody bus lanes anyway.
They use anything they want to use.
Exactly,
Some of them
and
are
truck
animals.
drivers, especially the white vans, and I think to myself, well, that everything should just be reorganised. I mean, if you're building a house, it should have a garage or two garages for cars, or at the very least a patio for cars to go on, because if you think about it, having cars on a road like, just down the road here from us, you've got cars on both sides, you've got a car coming up the middle, and some people are so selfish they won't move for you, because the obstacles on both sides, who's got the right of way? No one. So, my uncle thinks that, the road leading out past where we are at the TMO radio studios, it should be one way.
Yeah.
And
Well, it is quite narrow
think he's
in some
right,
parts.
because the amount of people who come tearing around that corner near
Yeah.
the flat, near the block of flats we're in, it is so dangerous. And who's going to suffer from it? Who's going to have a car coming through?
Yeah,
the,
well,
garden?
I have to go
Yes.
really slow when I come round there. You can't see anything until you're on top of it.
But I really think that, council flats and that, they've got the right idea, because they always put a garage on the bottom,
Yeah.
right? So everyone can park their cars in there. But the problem is, naturally, depending on how many flats you have, most of the time the blooming garage is too small.
Yeah,
There's
but
too many cars for it.
a lot of the houses were built in the. I mean, a lot of the houses around my area were built in the 40s and 50s or
Yeah.
whatever, and they didn't take it into consideration. I think they were badly designed, but they're not going to tear them all down and build them up again. This is what people in Australia say. They say, yeah, we just tear houses down and build them up new. But it's viable for them to do it because they've got a lot of room.
They got more space than us. Yeah.
We can't. We can't just tear down a whole road of houses and redevelop them. I mean, they were badly designed in the first place.
Yeah.
And you can't really go back on that now, but which is a shame.
Yeah.
And
But
as it's getting more overcrowded, there's no
with
room.
areas that they are building on, they should have time to think, well, what is necessary for today? If you go back to the 90s, there was far less cars on the road. Now you've got probably triple the amount of cars on the road. One of the reasons why I refuse to drive or learn how to drive.
And one of the reasons why I think people should be shot.
Yes. So, it's just... it's a money-making scheme, really. Cars, it's one of the biggest, selling cars, making and selling cars is one of the biggest firms in the world.
Yeah,
Same with mobile phones. We never had no mobile phones back in the 90s.
I think it's more to do with the tax and insurance that the government get on it, which is, really pleasing to them. That's why they don't ban people as much as they probably should.
Yeah, that's true.
There you go then. Right, where are we now? We're up to